Howdy, everybody. Happy Saturday morning here in Connecticut. My name is the Brandt. Welcome to Step Into the Portal. I know many of you know the channel if you've watched before for Marvel Champions, but there's lots of other games that I enjoy as well. Lots of card games. Universus, you probably see me play some Friday mornings, mostly last year with Matthew. He's been traveling, Matthew Jude, so we haven't got as many games of that this year. But also, I play a lot of Star Wars Unlimited. In fact, I run the league at my local store and run the nights and things like that. And I love Star Wars Unlimited, so I wanted to have some more plays. My other friend Matthew and I did some live plays with the new set 4 stuff a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to get more. But now I am in a league. So I'm in a league with Nelson from Nelson All Over and Ryan from Man vs. Meeple, and we are doing the Unlimited Power League, where we kind of purchase and add and build decks each week. So we're going to have weeks are really like 2 weeks. They're rounds. So we'll have 2 weeks for each round, and we'll have 6 rounds overall. And each round, we play each opponent. So we play the 2, and we have to rotate who our leaders are every time. So first thing I have to do is start with $60, and that's what I'm going to do today. $60 buy-in for cards and things. I can also grab cards at TCG Player Pricing from my collection for commons and uncommons. That's all we're going to do for now. We're not going to add anything crazy and see what we can do. I'm not normally super competitive, so I'm going to try to be competitive here and make some good decks up front and see how it goes. We're also going to play some Twin Suns games in there and whatnot. Hey, while I'm mentioning other things I like, don't forget also, in addition to Step in the Portal, I also do a podcast called The Right Brain Rollers with Eric Summer, and so you can check us out there as well. We just did an episode on a fantastic game from this year called Galactic Cruise, which I am loving, so you can check all that stuff out too. All right, let's go down to the table and see where I'm at with this deck. I don't know if people have been playing Star Wars or not. It's really fun. It's easy to get into. You can definitely play without being competitive for sure. You know, it depends on how you want to approach the game. So here's what I did. The first thing I did is I picked up the Boba Fett Spotlight deck, which is new for set 4. So for set 4, they're now Spotlight decks. They're not necessarily cards from the new set. There's some cards that are somewhat specific to there. You can open them in packs, but a little easier to get through there. And it also comes with a pack from the new set. So I picked that up for $30, and then I went and got myself 4 extra packs for $5 each. So this gets me to $50. So I still have $10 more to spend on single cards, which I may grab from here. I may talk through what I'm going to add. I'm not sure. We'll see how long this all takes us. I don't know how long to have people watch in terms of all this. So there are 4 aspects, color aspects in the game. There's aggression, there's green, which is command, there's cunning, which is yellow, and there is, missing the last one, vigilance, which is blue. There's also heroic and villainy. So Boba Fett has these 3 colors. So this is the cards that came in that starter deck that Boba Fett has. You also have a base that gives me that. And then here's the cards that I have that are in aggression and villainy. You can play any card you want to, but you have to pay additional costs for cards that don't match the colors that you have. I also have some straight villainy cards here. Fett's Fire Spray is very strong. So I'm going to open these, see what other leaders I get, but I think I'm going to build around Boba Fett. I do have to rotate leaders, so we'll have to see. But I guess the first thing I should do is open some packs. So I have 2 from Shadows of the Galaxy, 2 from Twilight of the Republic, and the one that came in this. So I do have Rey and an aggression base. I am allowed to purchase any other leader or that, but for this first one, I'm just going to go with what I've got here. And I'm just going to try to focus on, if I did play Boba Fett, what are some of the cards that I would add versus walking through every single card with everybody. I may go back and change, I'm not sure, but for now, we're just going to see what we get. Oh, you actually can't see those cards if I put them there, so be careful. All right. So these are some of the cards that I got here. I can use Guild Target. Oh, nice. I got this one, but that is a rare, but I'm currently unable to use it. So let's see if any of these are interesting. So what does Boba Fett do? Again, assuming I'm focusing on Boba Fett, I don't know that that's guaranteed. When you deal non-combat damage, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, deal 1 indirect damage to a player. And then I can flip him and put him on a ship, and he's +4/+4, and he deals 4 damage immediately. So I want to look for things that deal non-combat damage. If this unit has grit, you may deal 2 damage to a unit with a bounty. So that is a possibility. And here's a bounty, so I could put this on a unit. And then when I defeat them, I deal damage. Deal 1 damage to a unit or base when this is defeated. So all of these are possibilities currently. I also have the Smuggler's Starfighter. If you control another Underworld unit, well, he is Underworld, give an enemy -3/-0 this phase, and I can smuggle this card in. Kind of interesting in terms of when I play it, so I could lower somebody, and I technically can play this one as well, so I should, I guess, set some of these cards aside. I'm not going to sort all this like I normally would, because I think it'll take a little long to get us there. This has Restore 2. That could be played as well. Let's try one from Twilight of the Republic and see what we get. Always fun to open packs, too. All right, so we have Padme, we have Rey. We now have this base. All right, Bold Recon Commando, a 3/4 with Saboteur. Not bad, gets right to the point. The Heavy Persuader tank is very good. We deal 2 damage to a ground unit, and I can exploit it in. That's probably one that I'm going to use. Ooh, that's nice. Hyperspace there. Clone Dive Troopers has Coordinate. Probably not. Ooh, this one is good. The Genesis Patrol Fighter also has Exploit. I can return a unit somebody's hand. I have Self-Destruct, so I could deal damage to something. Prisoner of War. A friendly unit captures an enemy unit. Maybe. Yularen is my other rare here, and I got Executive Order 66. Deal damage, 6 damage to each Jedi unit. Whew. That's pretty strong, too. All right, let's go to the newest pack, because this might have cards that are of interest. Yeah, I'm going to try to limit here initially and just try to build off of this and see what I would trade in and out to make it a little reasonable. Well, this card is very good. Guerrilla Soldier, that's going in. When played, deal 3 indirect damage. It'll make it 4. Well, it'll be an extra indirect damage. And then I can ready that unit. Here is a Contracted Jump Master. So this has Sentinel, so they have to attack this one. Crackshot V-Wing, deal a damage to this unit. When you deal non-combat damage. I guess that would count, right? That's interesting. Fight fire with fire, choose a friendly unit, enemy unit, in their same arena, deal 3 damage to each of them. So that's another one I could use. Ooh, the War Juggernaut is very good. Rafa Martez is deal 1 damage to a friendly unit and ready a resource. Could work as well. The Corvus has Restore. And I also got In the Heat of Battle. All right, so these are the current cards that we could consider swapping in and out. Ooh, nice. More Covetous Rivals. Here's a 2/3 Saboteur. Here is a Kinton Intimidator, Exhaust the Defender. McClunky actually could work pretty well here, because that deals damage. Return a friendly non-leader Underworld unit to its owner's hand and deal 3 damage. Emphas Nest has Ambush. Enemy gets -3. Here's Evacuate. That would be interesting to put in. Return each non-leader unit to its owner's hand. Well, and Bo-Katan. All right, so we have these and one more pack here. Ooh, Count Dooku. That could be interesting to build around. All right, Strategic Analysis. We could draw 3 cards. Reckless Torrent. May deal 2 damage to a friendly unit if I have Coordinate when I play it. It's a little tricky to get to. Favorable Delegate lets me draw a card. Another Geonosis Fighter. Twice the Pride. Deal 2 damage to attached unit. Asajj. And a Vanguard Droid Bomber. All right, so these are some cards that seem pretty strong. Let's imagine that we were going to build Boba Fett, and let's just see what we have here and what we want to use. All right, where is Boba Fett's deck at? We're kind of looking at our curve. So Daring Raid is very good. We like that one. No Disintegrations can work pretty well here. We've got Pilots with Dengar. This guy's also very strong. Some Force Chokes to help us on the ground. It's actually a pretty good starting deck. If you're looking to pick one up, I highly recommend this one. IG-88, okay. Nade Strike, Dengar. All right, so these Daring Raids are really good because we can just deal direct damage. And these First Order Soldiers are similar because they would work along those lines. What else did we have for 1 costs in here? McClunky and this Intimidator. One thing we don't really have to worry about, as in some other games, we don't have to worry about like the balance of our colors. It can just kind of be this way. There is the guild target, which is nice as well. These pretty much all deal damage. I think this Clone Diver won't make sense. Anything else in here? All right, we have damage to... We just have one of those. All right. So then our 2 costs. This is not great for showing all of you. Hey! No, it's not a box break. I'm doing a league. Sorry, I was looking down. With Nelson and Ryan on their channels. And so we have $60 to spend. So I grabbed this, and then I just grabbed some packs to start with. And I can also purchase cards kind of like from my own collection here. So works pretty well. All right, we like Fett's Fire Spray. Assange, if attack with another Separatist unit, it gets +3. That's not great. I do like Twice the Pride. That could be pretty good to just get a killing blow in. These rely on Separatists. I like these Geonosian Fighters. I'm not super against this one. I can draw a card. Get something on the board. This one has Coordinate, so we're not going to worry about that. That's more card draw. I don't think I need that. Evacuate is interesting just to give me an out. Emphas is a little expensive for the ambush he can do. I don't think that's what we're focusing on. Same here. This isn't bad, dealing damage to a unit with a bounty, but we only have that 1 bounty, so I think that's going to be tough. This is okay in space. Capturing's not amazing. Self-destruct and deal 4 damage. Okay. 3/4 Saboteur's fine. We probably don't need that. This one can deal damage. Definitely this War Juggernaut and this one on the high end, so we have something else. I think we decided no here. Deal 1 damage to a unit or base. This isn't terrible, but probably doesn't get to the point. That one gets a little complex. Okay. So here's what we're looking at in terms of our curve and whatnot. So these give us a lot of things to exploit. What's nice is we could exploit these ones early, some of these units that we have. How much Underworld do we have in here for McClunky? So we have some things that we could return to our hand. This is Underworld. All right, I don't think we're going to need these. Attack with unit gets +2. No. I do like this guy a lot. So, if you have the initiative, deal 2 indirect damage. When indirect damage is dealt, you may defeat a non-unique upgrade on it. I like that a lot. I don't think we're going to need this one with card draw. I think that's fine. This has a lot going for it. We may not need these Zagirian Star Hoppers. I actually don't think we need this self-destruct. What are we going to blow up to deal 4 damage? Right? That seems a little tricky. Deal 2 damage to a unit, may deal 1 damage to another unit in the same arena. 2 and 1. Yeah, I mean, we could get rid of a force choke to be able to do that, I guess. Alright, what else do we have here? All these Houndstooths. So these are, when attacking an exhausted unit that didn't enter play, deal damage for the defenders. I don't think I care about that as much. These ones are good. They deal damage when they come in. The Elite P-38 Starfighters, they make sense. No disintegrations, deal damage, so it has 1 remaining. I like those, but I don't think I need 3 of them. Fifth Brother. Deal damage to this unit, 1 damage to another ground unit. Okay, so decent way to take care of the ground. Love these. Bosk and Dengar. This is really strong. I don't need deal 3 damage to a space unit. I don't really need these, but I do need space units to pilot. I only need 2 Bosks. Exhaust the defender and deal 1 damage to it. So I guess that's not bad on his ship. This one is indirect damage is increased by 1. Well, I like that for sure. Deal 2 indirect damage to this player if this unit is an underworld unit, deal 3. So the biggest thing I'm going to need is more ships to pilot, right? So that IG-2000 is probably something we're looking for. We have this one, and I really want more of these gorillas in there as well. This Boba Fett pilot is good. While something's damaged, get +3. That's good. That's good. All right, so we're in pretty good shape here. Let's see what we're at for card count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 27, 8, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 6, 7, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 52, 53, 54. All right, so I don't think we need this bounty. That's not going to be a big deal. We do get to put 10 cards in our sideboard, so we can actually go to 60. So I'm going to try to flip through down here and see what I can find. So I know I want those gorillas. Sorry, I'm leaning down here. I wonder if there's a way to bring my cards up on the table so I'm not leaning over for the next 20 minutes. I got a big old box of cards here and I'm attached to a microphone. Give me a second. There we go. Now I got my cards on the side. All right, so we're going to try to find gorilla soldiers. I think those are going to be good. There's also just waylay, which can be nice in this color. Yep, here's these. And these torpedo barrages can get right to the point. Do need something else for a ship to pilot. Because we don't have a ship, it's going to be tricky for him to get out there. What else do I need in here? Oh, I think the surprise strikes would be good to have as well. There's also these, which are cheap. These could be nice as well, huh? All right, we're gonna use my fancier cards, but we'll price them at the cheaper one because I would have the cheaper one. But I think it's fun to use those. So since they're in mine, we're gonna use them at that pricing. All right, so we have these to pilot. We have these to pilot. We probably actually have enough here. What do we want to have? Come on turn 1. I don't think we need this fight fire with fire. I don't know that McClunky's going to do what I want it to do. Unless I put Greedo in. Is another option. Ooh, this is a lot of me just flipping, huh? There's so many cards now. All right. So let's look at what we have here. We now have these ships to pilot. These can be piloted on the top end. Evacuate's just a fun other way to go about this. So I think I've actually got too many pilots here now. So I'm just going to go down to 1 Bosk and 1 Dengar, and I'll be able to use them. I actually think I'm okay on ships. I don't think this is going to do what we wanted to. We've got a lot in the 2 category here, and a lot of events. What do we have for actual units? This one, I don't think this guy's good enough there. All right, so turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, so we will put Greedo in there. And we will check the value on those Greedos. Yeah, it's not bad. It's kind of fun. It's true. It's a little slow, but I thought it'd be a fun thing to put up on the channel here to get some plays in. All right, Greedo. All right, so regular Greedo is 30 cents. So technically these ones are $1, but we're going to put these 3 and we'll just call that $1. So we're at $51. Then I think we want to add these surprise strikes. These are very good. These are 10 cents. So that's 30 cents. We'll put in 2 more Gorilla Soldiers. So we're at 51.30 Gorilla Soldier. These are another 13 cents, so we'll call that 50 cents. We'll stay under the price we're rounding, but we'll stay under. And I think Waylay also makes sense to put in there. You know, we'll even buy them at their price, right? So 1, 2, and that one was 25 cents, so $2.25. These were 13 each, 2 and 40 cents, so $2.65. This one's 25 cents, so it's $2.90. These are each 12 cents. And these were 13 cents. Oh, these ones are $1. No, 50 cents. All right. So we're at about $55 now. That's pretty good for our deck. I think that's kind of where we want to be. We still have a lot of events here that may not be what we need. I don't think we need this grenade strike. All right, let's see what our numbers are now. 4, 8, 12, 16, 24, and 6 is 30, 34, 38, 42, 46, 53, 54, 55, 6, 57, 58. So we can fit 2 more cards back in there from what we got. So let's go ahead and put one of these ships back in. We should put something big and expensive on the high end. What do we have for like a red 5-drop? Hold tight here. Occupier siege tank is an interesting one. Just bravado. Clan challengers, raid 2. I don't think that's what we're looking for. All right, well, we'll put the Houndstooth in so we have his ship as well. Go from here. All right, so that should give us 60 cards. We'll have to figure out what we want to do for a sideboard here. We have a lot of 2s. We have the no good to me deads. That's probably where we're going to put some stuff that we just want to slow down on the high end. Let's count it out again, and then we'll just give it a shuffle. 4, 5, 6, 8. All right, it's exactly 60. What does Jeremiah say? Haven't really gotten into Star Wars since there's an invisible, actable community. Yeah, it makes a big difference. Sorry, my budget is $60, so it was $30 for the Boba Fett starter with a pack. I got 2 packs that went to $50, and then those cards I just added in. And I don't think I ended up adding another one, right? So it was $55. So I'm still $5 under, but I think this deck will be pretty good. But I do agree with you, having a local community. I do think it's something fun you could play at the kitchen table and then just kind of add packs as you go, like, you know, birthdays and holidays. You can get packs of cards, and what could we add to here? Or, you know, get all the leaders to be able to build things with and play very casually. It is a very fun back and forth game. And you get a lot of direct interaction, actually, when you don't get to, like, all the cards and everything. But it works best when you have somebody you could go, you know, some group of people you could play with. You know, my local group just loves playing best of 1 rounds and getting to play 3-4 people in a night and heading out before it gets crazy late. So, you know, that's what we've had a lot of fun with. All right, let's just see, even though it's a 60-card deck, where would we be at if we were to play this? So, we've got a 2-drop, we've got a 3-drop. I also like the soldiers. So I'll probably get rid of the crack shot. And I guess since I'll have 2 ships, I'm going to toss that one and hold Waylay. Seems pretty good. So the first turn I could drop a TIE Bomber. That wouldn't trigger this. Then we would draw 2. Do I need a ground unit? Probably not. So I'll probably get rid of the 5th brother. Then I would attack for some indirect damage here. This is just goldfishing, just see what would happen. This soldier would come in. I'd increase by 1, or I already did. So pretty good odds that I could ready this unit. They get to swing again, which is nice. Then I would just have to figure out where is the current issue, because I could play them again. Turn 4, I could just get Fett's ship down. So I probably don't need this. And then next turn I could play a combo of these 2 or these 2, right, for the 5. So the 4-drop gives me this, and this unit's now just kind of swinging. These would all ready. Sorry, this is kind of crazy. And that would give me some damage. Then I've got 2 no good to me deads. That's specifically what I just don't need a lot of. I can exhaust their units, which is strong, but I want to play that on their leader when they come out. So I could play him to deal 1 damage. Again, get a ship. I already have the fire spray. I have this. I have to kind of anticipate here. You know, is my opponent going to eliminate one of these and I need a new ship? So I'm probably swinging with a bunch of stuff first to see where I'm at, because Boba Fett comes in next turn. And then if I can hold my resources, then I know I either need to play this or I am able to, you know, waylay something of theirs if it's early. And then no good to me dead to kind of hold them down, which is nice because then on my next turn, gosh, I got the War Juggernaut. That's very strong. All right, so I want to be holding this Daring Raid. I don't think this is of great use to me anymore. So now I can flip Boba Fett. He'll be able to deal a bunch of damage. That kind of protects the ship. I have 6 to play the War Juggernaut, where I could just deal the damage to a whole bunch of things. And then next turn I'll have the Daring Raid. So that played out very well in my mind. Again, this is all just practice to see what it's like. So then I just have to trim from here. What are the 10 cards that I think I would pull in or take out? Like, I think this Twice the Pride might be something if I say, oh, I've got to try to go faster than them. I'd play that card for 4, deal damage. This is interesting. When you deal non-combat damage. Yeah, I don't think I need anything. Let's try it one more time. Tricky part with Boba Fett is getting to those 6 resources. My biggest concern is just that I would have too many events. Alright, so here's a 2, a 3, a 4. IG-88 is my 5. What do I want to hold here? The Daring Raid can help me early. The No Good to Me dead. So I think I'm probably likely to get rid of IG-88 on that high end. Increase by 1. That is nice. I think I'll get rid of the No Good to Me dead and see where we go. So we'll play this ship. We'll get rid of a Daring Raid on this turn. Now the question is, will we drop both of these? Probably not. I probably just play the 5th Brother to get something on the table. Evacuate's interesting. I don't think I need that unless I'm going to lose late. So this is a tricky turn because I don't have a lot of indirect damage. So I'm actually probably likely to force choke something of theirs, play this unit, and play a Daring Raid to try to take down a unit, just get the board under control. Some of these things are probably going to die. Now I'm running the spot where I don't really have a space unit. Well, there you go. Drew the Fire Spray. So then, which of these is a bigger deal? No disintegrations on my turn could take something out nicely. So on this turn, if I were to play my Fire Spray, and then the next turn, wow, yeah, look at, then I could put this down before I deploy Boba. No disintegration is something that I want to have a lot of damage, and then when I flip, he deals 4, and I could defeat that and maybe something else. That's kind of the idea. Yeah, so other than that, I'll make a sideboard out of this. I'm thinking that my sideboard will probably be some of the less necessary cards. I only need one of these patrollers unless I'm playing a longer game. That, if they have a lot of units, space units and things, right, if they're not playing into that. Even my pilots here, I think the Houndstooth and one, the 5th Brother seems good, but not amazing. I mean, even Force Choke, probably keep a No Good to Me dead on the side. The Evacuate. She doesn't seem super useful. Him. So I think this might be some of the cards that you'll see over here. 3, 6, 7. And then it's just a matter of figuring out where that curve is too strong. Like, I don't really need this down early, so that's probably one that I pull. And I could pull a Waylay and just go to 2 to see if I'm more losing than not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need one more. And then you just try to figure out what are the things you're seeing and not seeing when you want to be seeing them. Got 2 Force Chokes in there. Bombers are fine in here. Oh, and Twice the Pride, I said. Okay, so yeah, these would be the cards that I would pull to the side. This would be my deck a little more streamlined. Is Boba Fett in here? Yeah. But then you got to play it, and you don't know what you're going to play against the other person. So that's where the sideboard comes in and figuring out. I'm really thinking that I can go faster than my opponent. So if they're going faster than me, that's where that's happening. Or if they're controlling my deck, then that's where I need some of those cards to be able to control back at them. All right, one more here, and then we will call it. Well, I love seeing this heavy Persuader tank, but it's not coming out soon. So we'll drop those two, and we'll be able to put 2 units down on the first turn. That's a strong presence on the board. Draw 2. So this would just be a tough decision, because if I feel like there's something I've got to get rid of, if they're playing something like Sabine and I need the Force Choke, I will do that. But I'm probably putting the Force Choke down since I have so much on the ground anyway. I could just kill it. And that allows me to put this in space, deal a damage, and trigger his ability. This also has all sorts of abilities, right? So I've just got a lot of damage coming in. From here, they get a little weaker. So I'm probably dropping these soldiers. I pretty much want my fire spray, because that's just going to deal a lot of damage with him. Drawing again. Greedo's not amazing. Transport, deal 2 damage. Again, if I need the control, I'm keeping this. I can even eliminate these ones to get there, in which case this would be pretty good. It's actually an interesting play. If I put down this Boba Fett, and then I attack with this Greedo, it might not be in play, and then I exploit that Greedo, I only have to pay 3, which then lets me put both of these units down, and now I've just got a huge table, right, and ready to go in. So, cool. All right, everybody. Well, there you go. We will have videos up. You could check out Nelson All Over, Man vs. Meeple, and my channel here, and you will find gameplays and other things related to this league. I think it's going to be really fun. I think it's a neat thing to do. I have to remember that I have all these cards as well to go in my little collection. I'm going to have a little box that'll be specifically these cards, so I know what is where. And then I'll have to decide for my next week. Is it going to be Dooku? Is it going to be Hondo, Asajj, Padme, Rey? Where do I want to go with my deck? Could be a little tricky. Or do I want to get another leader that I can focus around what I'm doing here? But I think it would be fun to switch it up a little bit and try some of these other things. Rey is definitely of interest there. I like playing her. So we'll see how that goes. Cool. Well, thank you, everybody. Like I said, check out the league, check out the channel, check out the podcast, and all those things. I don't think it's a specific time. Each round is approximately 2 weeks, so we kind of started. We start tomorrow. Nelson put the thing up earlier this week, so I think we have about 2 weeks. But I think once we all get a chance, basically get the 3 sets of games in, then we go to the next round. So I think they're going to do a lot of pre-recorded on my channel. I would play live if people want to play on here. That's just what I enjoy doing. So there's no specific time, but it'll be kind of over the next 12 weeks. You'll see it. And at some point, we'll definitely get some Twin Suns games in as well. So that should be good for people to see. Cool. Well, thanks everybody for watching. My name is the Brandt. And until next time, I hope you step into the portal. Bye.